Hi, in this video I'll talk about the time and as well as the quality problem in real estate. And we'll divide this in two different chapters. The first one is the time problem, and as well as the second one, which is what we'll start off with, the quality problem. So let's get right into it. Quality. Alright? Now, what happens in the market right now is that there are multiple so-called agencies that are trying to promote to multiple realtors their services, right? So what they are telling most realtors is that they can get like 1,000 leads every month, right? But realistically, they will say something like, we'll get you 3 or 4 sellers in a month. So 3 or 4 sellers a month, or 30 days, right? Now, most realtors, because they don't know how ads work, they will think like, all right, they can do this, they have a contract and so on, they must know what they are doing. Now, what most realtors don't know is that most ads that these agencies are doing are like this. Now, what this means is that this is the first month 1, this is the second month, and then this is the third month, and then obviously this part is the 3+ month. Now what this means for you is that you are in this part right here. Now you might think, all right, if they can give me 4 sellers here, 4 sellers a month, they'll give me like 8 or even 12 a month. Now this is not the case. Now the reason why is really simple, and you really can't do that. It's impossible. And I mean, it's not impossible. If you have like a budget of 10 grand or something a month, then yeah, sure, it is. You'll get it. But if you have a normal budget of 1 to 2K a month, that would be impossible for you. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible at all, but in the first month it is impossible, because each market has its own things, and you need to test a lot of things, and each realtor is different. And obviously for a realtor that can sell houses in like 8 days, it'll be way easier to get sellers than it is someone that sells houses in like 30 to 60 days, right? Now what I'm trying to point out is that most of these companies are simply trying to get rich quick. Now I'm not saying that all of these companies do, but I'm saying that most amount of these people are. Now with us, we have like a contract of about 12 months or about 1 year, in which we are working with our clients. Now what happens, like this thing right here, you might think that all right, it's going to dry out right in about this section. Instead, for us, what our ads are like is that they obviously will be like this, but once they're about here, will be again like this, then again like this, then again like this, and for about 12 months. The reason why is really simple. Now what we have is something that we call for targeting sequence. All right, so for targeting sequence. Now what this means is that we'll have like this. So we'll have a square, and then we'll divide this into 4 different squares. Then the first one will have the first city, the second one will have the second city, third will have the third city, and then the fourth will have the fourth city. Now why this works for us is simply because the first 1 to 3 months will target the first city. Now before I get into this, let me just tell you why ads dry out in the long term. Now the reason why is simply because people get bored with the same ads being shown to them every single time and by the same people. All right, so what we want to do is to change not by who but change in front of who our ads will be. So right here in the first city, we'll have the first city for about 1 to 3 months, then the second city, second, third, and then fourth city. So what this means is that by the time that our ads will simply start a bit to dry out, so we'll be like in this phase right here, we can scale it up and move to the second city. And then since that we know what works in the first city, we can assume that since it's the same market, we can do the same for this city, this one, and then this one as well. Then what will happen is that our ads will be like this, then they will be like this. So 1 to 3 months for a city, the third and through the 6th month we'll have the second city. Then what we want to do is to simply do this once again, the third time. So we'll have the third city. All right. Then you get the idea, and then we'll have the fourth city. Now, what happens is that after like a year, the ads that our first city saw will simply be forgotten about for them already. So what we can do is to simply go like this and then just repeat the cycle for about 2 to 3 times. Right? Now this is what happens. And once we do this, we'll create this thing right here, which is the continuously scaling method that we use. Now the second reason of why ads don't work in 30 days is simply because the ads haven't been posted for enough time for the either Facebook's algorithm or the TikTok algorithm or the Instagram algorithm or the YouTube's algorithm or apps like these to know who to actually target. Because what happens is that after a lead has submitted the form, so they will see the form right here, they'll go like this, they'll see have the submit button, obviously they'll click it and the form will be submitted. All right, submitted. And now once this happens, they'll go into the Facebook algorithm and the form will tell it like, hey, this person has submitted the form, this is someone that we like, target more of these. More of these. Right? Now, then what will happen is that Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you use will learn it. Now, this will happen for as many times as needed, and for Facebook and Instagram will be like 10, at least 10 or like 30. I don't really remember, like 10 to 30. I know there's a huge gap or whatever. Leads you need to have for the algorithm to know who to target. And 30 leads, especially in real estate, it's not that easy to get. Like there are like $30 to $40 per lead, and there are certain days where we get none and certain days where we get one. So there will be like one lead every 2 days. So if you do the math, there will be 80 days just for the algorithm to learn it. Now, it's impossible to get, I mean, obviously, again, it's not impossible, but it's really, really hard to get 4 sellers in a month when you firstly start the campaign. And what I mean by this is that most agencies will try to scam you. They might not actually want to scam you, but they will scam you. And how you can protect yourself is to simply look at the system as if you are a marketer, and you need to know what works and what doesn't work by watching certain videos and how to run ads. Now, I'm going to tell you right now on what we do and see if it makes sense for you. And if it does, you can just schedule a call with me down below and I'll see you on a call, all right? Now, the third reason why you get low quality leads is simply because people are cold themselves, all right? So people are cold. Now, what this means is that I don't mean that they are not responding to you because that's how they are. Simply because they don't know you. They don't like you, which is normal, and or they don't trust you. Now, the reason why they could be like this is simply because if you scroll like 2 or 3 times on your Facebook feed, Instagram feed, YouTube, you get the idea. You'll see multiple ads of some realtors that all look the same. They'll be like, hey, city homeowners, would you be looking to sell your house in like a month? Here's what we do, here's how we can help you, here's the call to action, and then you'll be transferred to a landing page, all right, or to an instant link form. And then they will be called. Now, the reason why this doesn't work anymore is simply because people like realtors have been scammed by other realtors or for realtors by other companies. Now, you can differentiate yourself isn't by having a different emoji or having a different method, even that obviously works. Is not the best way. The best way is to target who you are targeting. And instead of targeting cold people, you need to target hot people. Right? So what I mean by hot is someone that already likes you, wants to work with you, and trusts you. Right? So how we are targeting them exactly, right? And here it is. So the first thing that we need to do is, just a second to go right here, is to create ads for followers. For followers. Now, these are not normal ads with a call to action like click below and go to our landing page. No, these are with a call to action, follow us. Now, the reason why we want to have this is simply because we want them to go on our Instagram or our Facebook or our TikTok or our YouTube and then look at what we do, make them follow us or subscribe to us, and then us engaging with them. So the second step is to engage. And what this means is to simply go around like talking to them, asking them questions, respond to the questions that they might have, and then simply go around and like their posts, comment on them, and like the stories and comment on them. And this stuff that keeps them thinking of you all the time. Then after about like 2 to 3 days, depending on your preferences, you will run a retargeting campaign. Now, the reason why we do this is to simply target these people, your followers that already have engaged with you, think about working with you because that's why they followed you, and then to retarget them to our main ads. And since by that point they already want to work with you, they will want to go on your landing page or your instant form and then become your lead. Right? So be like lead. And then what you need to do is to educate them. All right, so what I want you to do is to simply give them tips and tricks if you want, ask them questions, respond to their questions and stuff like that. That will help them trust you even more. So the reason why you want to do this is simply because after they will schedule the appointment, they will be pre-sold. So what this means is that once they go on a schedule with you, on an appointment with you, they will simply have questions like what's your commission and stuff like that. And once you give it to them, they'll be like, all right, I want to work with you. And then you end the call instantly, the appointment instantly, and then they'll become your client. Now this is going to take like 5 to 10 minutes and it's really fast, and our realtors have closing percentages of about 80 to 90%. Now this is really achievable, and the reason why is because again these leads will be pre-sold and they already want to work with you, right? But how exactly do we run these ads? Like I give you the structure, but I didn't give you the structure of the ads themselves. I just gave you the strategy. So the first thing that we need to do is to have the value ladder. Now what this means is that we'll have something like this, and then we'll need the first lower offer, the second lower offer, and then the main service, which is selling the house. Now, the first lower offer could be anything, like the free value. That's something that we have. Then the second lower offer could be like a course or could be a guide. And then the main service, which is selling the house. Now, even better, what we do, and I'm going to do this with red, is to have 3 lower offers. So first, second, third, main service. So the first lower offer is value. Second lower offer is what we call free appointments until you sell your house. So free appointments until you sell your house. Alright, now what this means is that we'll have, and this combined with the third lower offer, which is the guide, because we have a guide. These two combined will have the second lower offer truthfully. Now, what this means is that we'll be like, hey, click below and receive the free guide that X has done to sell their house in 10 days. Now, most people will click for it because of the human psychology that we like to have free assets, as many as you want. We won't really look through them. So if, for example, if I were to tell you that I have a 52-page PDF they want to send you, you will be like, yeah, sure, send it to me. But in reality, you'll probably forget about it. And this is the same thing that our leads will do. So what this means is that they will go to our landing page and they will submit their application. Then what we say is that, hey, we'll work for you guys for free until you sell a house. And what this means is that we'll help them implement the guide for free. And what this does is that we'll tell them that what we teach is something that they can get results with. So by doing this, we'll increase how much they trust us. So in the long term, they will be a lot more likely to work with us in the end. And then the main service, which is selling their house. Now, how exactly do we put this into the ads? So I'm going to type this 3 ads. Now, the first thing that we need to do is to have the ads for followers. Alright, so I'm going to short this to AAF. Alright, and the reason why is because AA ads, F for, and then F followers. Then, how we have this is by having the first lower offer, which is the value. And we'll be like, hey, I don't know, city homeowners. So we'll be like, hey, New York homeowners, why if I told you that? And then what you need to do is to have your ideal client avatar. We'll talk about that next. Wait, hold on. What if I told you they can something that they deeply want to solve? And then you will be like, click below and then go through our course, and then as well as follow us so that we can help you through one-on-one through DMs. And then what they'll do is to go to your Instagram, look at your value, see if they like it. If it is high quality, they will follow you, right? Then remember something, each follower is a potential lead. The reason why I say potentially simply because we don't have their information at the moment. But the reason why I say potential is that these people are way more warm than these people that didn't even go to our Instagram. And what we like to do is to simply shoot them a DM being like, hey, do you have any questions, blah, 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 and stuff like that, if they follow us. Then we'll have the retargeting ads, which I'm going to shorten to RA, retargeting A ads. Now, what we'll do in these ads is to simply retarget these people here and to make them go to our landing page. All right, and what we say is that we'll say the same thing as we did right here, so that way it'll create a deja vu because you'll forget about our ads most times. So that way they will instinctively listen to us and try to figure out why is the deja vu there. Then we'll tell them what we do, how we can help them and stuff like that. And After that, we'll have a call to action and then the urgency. And if you want, I will have in the description below a video that will go in much more detail about how we create the ads themselves, so that's why I don't repeat myself. And yeah, you can check it out. And next, we'll talk about our ideal client avatar. Now, for ideal customer profile, the first thing you must do is to determine what are their fears, right? So what is keeping them up at night, if you will. So what is keeping our ideal client up at night? For example, I give you one right now. It could be that they don't know how to time when they sell their house through when they buy the next one and they move in, so that they will not be homeless, and then they will have a gap right here. So sell their house and then buy their next house, and then you must fill in this blank with whatever you have, right? And this is the exact system that we'll do for our ideal client. Then you must think of why they want to sell their house, and then you must think of who they are, like what are their ages, and are they female, are they male, and this stuff that you need to do in order to nail your ads. And then for this example, it could be if you are a New York homeowner that is trying to time the market and when they sell their house through when they buy it, so that they won't be homeless, you qualify for our BM course on how to sell your house, and then time it perfectly for when you buy it, so that you can move instantly. Now this could be one hook. You need to test it more and then come up with your own. Now the fifth thing is that you must have testimonials or results plus stories. Right? So for the testimonials, your past clients need to tell what happened. So for example, if your most ideal client fear is when they can expect to move right into the next house, for the testimonial, it needs to highlight that they moved in right after they sold their house, so that way it was as stress-free as possible. For example, there could be one. And another, it could be if they are looking to sell the house as soon as possible. It could be that they sold the house in like 8 days or less. Then for the stories, you need to tell them, hey, this doesn't need to be real, or it could be fake, doesn't really matter, but it needs to be something that they can relate to. So for example, you need to, again, I made the video, so I'm going to pop it in the description down below so I don't repeat myself. But what you need to do is to make it like the viewer and whoever the story is, was just a viewer of the ad that took action. So that way it'll influence them to take the same action that they took, in hopes of that they will have the same experience as these people had. Now there are a lot more things they need to cover. For example, your automations. There are, for example, salespeople. Then you have the team. Then you have more things that you need to have in place for your ads to perform really great. Now this is the bare minimum that you made as of now for the quality. This will drastically increase your quality rate. However, again, if you don't want to do all of this, we handle everything, so you just have to sit back and relax, and then we'll take care of everything for you. So if you're looking for that, you can just click below on my calendar, schedule a call with me and my team, and then we'll see you on board. But enough with the promotion, self-promotion. This is exactly what you need to do. Obviously, I will make separate videos on how to have the best automations, how to have the AI, how to have the best landing pages and stuff like that. But as of now, you are good to go if you are having this in place. Now, you can have like a landing page and ask them how soon are you looking to sell your house, and if it corresponds with your ideal client, then they can move forward. If not, they are disqualified and they won't be able to. this is through your preferences. And one more thing is that you can ask them like how much you want to sell your house for, and if they say like $1 million, that will be either good or bad depending on your, again, preferences and your team if you have one. But for the quality, again, this is going to automatically increase your quality conversions in your quality for the leads. Well, that was it in today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time with the second problem. Goodbye.